Your company and what you're doing there?
Hi, I'm Adam Baker. My company is Blottr.com, and Blottr is a citizen journalism news service that enables anyone to capture, report and collaborate on news that they witness at the scene.
And how long have you guys been going now?
We launched in August 2011. Sorry, 2010.
Okay,
so
it's gone pretty fast, huh?
Yeah, exactly. We've done a lot in a month. So no, just over a year.
Okay, and I mean, why did the idea come about for you? What were you doing? What was your background?
So, two answers there. So my background is in digital media. This is my third startup. The reason that I came about starting Blottr was I was watching the footage of 9/11 all those years ago, and I was staggered on two levels. One, that it took CNN, who were the first news service to break the news that day, 6 minutes to do it. And meanwhile, there were hundreds of people at the scene capturing footage without an outlet for it. And then about a year and a half ago, I caught a documentary about just purely on the footage that people had caught that day. And it was just so engaging, deeply engaging. And I just thought there's got to be a better way of being able to report news. And then as a consumer of news, I love news, I'm a news junkie. When I see mainstream organisations laying staff off, the BBC have laid off 2,000 people or about to, big news organisations are trying to protect their revenue, so they're putting up paywalls. I just saw an opportunity to on scale, be able to deliver a really compelling news agenda for the people, by the people, and that's where Blottr was born.
Okay, and did you start it yourself? Did you start it with other people?
No, it was myself. I bootstrapped it.
Okay.
So I was a product and sales director for Northcliffe Media at the time.
Got it.
And I funded the business myself. I had two people that were working with me full-time on the project until we basically developed the business. So initially they were developers and we built the platform. We then launched, and we launched into London to gain a proof of principle. We launched in August last year, and we probably reached a proof of principle by about December. After about 4 months, we realised that there was a need for this. We had lots of content, we had some really engaged users, traffic was increasing month on month. So at that point, I then left Northcliffe and came to join Blottr full time. And we raised money in May, and since May we've ramped up.
Okay, and so you obviously took the step to actually prove everything, get it running, actually get users. Did that make finding investments easier for you?
Massively.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, as somebody that's set up business before, and I've been in contact with a lot of other sort of founders and people with great ideas, and I've fallen into this trap before, where I've had great ideas, and I've tried to get funding for them as a concept, and it's been really difficult. And I was lucky enough that having sold a couple of my last businesses, that I had the capital to be able to launch this business. But 6 or 7 years ago, when I launched my first startup, in fact it was longer than that, 10 years ago, I didn't have any capital, and so I was going out trying to raise money based on an idea, and I was selling myself, and I wanted them to buy me, and it was really, really difficult. And so by being able to get your product live online, get an audience, get feedback, build traction, whether that's traffic, whether it's revenue, whether it's engagement, whatever it is, build some traction, and then take a working product out to an investor. You're more likely to get investment that way, and also you're more likely to get better terms. So you've built and created value in your business. So you're not going in there and saying, this is a great idea, I'm great at what I do, I can drive this, invest in it. And if you do get investment, the chances are the terms aren't going to be very favourable for you. Whereas if you are able to create value for your business, and you can prove maybe a 6 or 12 month sort of period of time that you built value over, you're going to raise money at much better terms for yourself. So as a founder, that's really important.
Awesome, awesome. And you said 6 to 12 months. Do you think there's any kind of rule of thumb of how much traction you're meant to have? I know it's very different for if it's a B2C or a B2B product, but are there any things that people should work towards before they're going to seek investments?
I think you just need to be realistic. I mean, I now look at investments myself, so I invest in a couple of businesses myself, and I see business plans. The idea is perfect, really, really strong. The entrepreneur is fairly strong, but the business plans are just so unrealistic. They think they're going to be, turning over 14 million quid next year, and they think they're going to have 5 million uniques in a year. It's just not going to happen. So I think you need to be realistic, and I think traction, as long as it's meaningful. And meaningful can be different things. It can be, that you want to have 1,000 engaged users that are contributing to your site, or it could be that you want 50,000 unique users a month coming through your site. The metrics can be different depending on what you're doing. It could be that you've got an iPhone app and you want 5,000 downloads of that app. You just need traction. You need to sit in front of an investor and prove that you've got a product that people want.
Okay, and are there any other lessons that are just really key for people starting out, do you think?
I think for me there were two, and I made both mistakes, so I've learned basically by making mistakes. The first one is just to get your product out there. Don't procrastinate. Developers, I'm not a developer, but developers have a tendency to kind of procrastinate and sit on a product and try to perfect it before it goes live because it's their work and they've put their name to it. But as a business person, as a founder, I just want it out there. And then we can iterate it, because I haven't launched a business. In fact, I haven't seen a web business that's in its same kind of form 6 months later. You iterate it because you get feedback from your users. You understand what your users like and what they don't like. So just get it out there. We started developing Blottr in March 2010. We had it out by August. So we spent about 5 or 6 months developing it. Just get it out. It was fairly crude. It didn't have any of the functionality that it does today. But we got it out there. We listened to our users. We learned what they liked and what they didn't. And we built our product around that. And so the first lesson really is just get your product out there. And the second one is always act like you're lean. So even if you raise money, always act like you haven't got any and you're bootstrapping it yourself. Because I've seen, not necessarily myself, but I've seen other businesses raise quite a lot of cash and then just go out and spend it on ridiculous things. And also ramping up the team. If you don't have to do it, then don't do it. Act like you're bootstrapping this yourself, because money runs out, and invariably what happens is your money runs out before you hit a tipping point or before you hit a proof of principle, and at that point you're in a really sticky situation. So my two things are: get your products out, learn, iterate, and always act like you're bootstrapping it.
Okay, perfect. So just don't get too big-headed at all.
I think so.
Okay, great. So what do the next 3 months look like for you guys?
Interesting, exciting, busy, challenging. We're just about to launch Blottr into France and into Germany. We're doing that in the next couple of weeks. We'll probably be in Spain by the end of the year as well. We are now in 10 UK cities, so we've just launched into 2 others last week. So for us, we're kind of juggling lots of different challenges. One is to increase engagement in the areas that we're already in and we've built good momentum up in. The other is we've got some new cities that we've just launched into. We need to obviously make sure that we get good engagement in those areas, and now we're launching into 2 brand new countries in countries that I don't speak the language in, and so that's going to be interesting. We've just brought a French and a German native over from their countries over to us to work with us. So there's some really interesting challenges coming up, and we've got some great products lined up in the dev queue. So the next few months, the next 6 months, next year should be quite interesting for us. Okay, so it hasn't got any less exciting? Oh, absolutely not. It gets more exciting every day, and I genuinely mean that. It's a really cheesy thing to say, but it does. I think it only stops getting exciting when you let it. I'm somebody that wants to aggressively grow this business. We've done so over the last 12 months, made really good traction, but I can see this business scaling quickly, and I want it to. So I kind of live, breathe, and sleep how we grow this, and that's really exciting. It sounds like you stay very proactive and sort of ahead of the curve. So do you learn a lot from your customer data that just helps you find what the next thing they're going to like is? Yeah, we speak to our customers a lot. I think we're quite lucky in that we depend on our community. So if our community turned off, we wouldn't be around. because they provide all of our content for us. So we're completely user generated. So we have to know and we have to look after and reward and nurture our community and the people that contribute for us. So we get to know them really well. We're now nearly at 1,500 contributors, so actually it's starting to become more difficult to get to know them all very well. But we still have a core base, a couple of hundred that we know very well. And we always talk to, and we're always reaching out to our new users every time they join us to find out what their experiences are. And we're really interested in that, because our product is for our users, it's not for us. You know, we're not sitting in an office working hard every day for us. We're doing it because there's a need out there and we want to address it.
So do you feel like you're doing the social good as well then?
Absolutely, yeah. I think we definitely are. But to be honest, that wasn't the reason I came into it, and it wasn't a strategy that I had. But I think we definitely are, and the reason I think that is because I see that we are helping communities become more vigilant, more aware. We're enabling people to report news that they're witnessing at the scene. So actually, at the point people in hyperlocal communities start to realise that they can become better citizens and help their neighbourhoods, that's socially a really cool thing. And so indirectly, we've become quite a kind of socially viable proposition.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I think that's all from me. Is there anything else that you need to share with anybody that's, thinking, do I do it or don't I?
Do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it. The more you think about it, the less likely you are to do it.
Okay.
Just do it. Don't be worried about failure. Everybody fails, whether they fail on a monumental level or they fail on daily levels. Everybody fails. I fail at least 5 times a day. Just don't be scared to do it. Just learn from it. So in terms of that question, just do it.
Perfect. That's a great place to end. Okay.